is a momentous day for New Haven. And I wanted to, in particular, take a moment to recognize the alders that are here. Your partnership in this process was key, particularly looking at the 5 individuals here, downtown in the Hill, representing the Hill, Alder Rodriguez, Alder Hurt, Alder Roth, and Alder Singh. Thank you for your partnership. And of course, we have a list of other folks that have been very key to this process as well. Governor Lamont, and I saw David Lamont here, in particular on the economic development side. This project would not have been possible with your investment and belief in our city. I see Senator Blumenthal, of course Senator Murphy, and we're going to hear from Rosa DeLauro via video in just a moment. And so many more people that you're going to hear on the lengthy program. And it's funny, when I looked at the list of people that were speaking, I remembered the opening, I don't know if it was with 100 College or maybe it was Alexion. And I remember Senator Blumenthal spoke near the end, and he said, everything has been said, but not everyone has said it. And then he proceeded, if I can give you a hard time, Senator Blumenthal, to say it again.
That's what we do in the Senate.
That's what they do in the Senate. It's called a filibuster. So just a reminder to everyone here, including myself, to keep it as brief as possible, because the main event is about to come with the ribbon cutting. In looking at the, I said today's a momentous day, but this has been building and building and building for years and years and years. And you think about, I was just talking with Carter about how long this whole corridor has been in the making for several decades. Started with John DeStefano and the work that he did, and continue with Mayor Harp, and then, of course, with our team here today, we're continuing this very lengthy project that envisions a New Haven that's more together. And I think that that's something that is important now more than ever. You think about our city. And historically, we have struggled, and in many ways, given the crisis that we are in now with COVID-19, that has exposed those issues around systemic racism and income inequality, the challenges that we face around violence. It's easy to, in the uptick in violence that we're seeing around the nation and in New Haven as well, it's easy to feel of hope. But today is a reminder of the fact that our city is in a position of strength, the fact that so many people are investing in our city, and that we are prioritizing inclusive growth, that as we grow, we must all grow together. And there's so many examples of that. I mean, you look at the number of buildings in between, the number of construction projects in between here and Union Station. You look at the fact that we were able to agree with the state after decades of disagreement about what Union Station can look like that benefits and keeps in mind the sensitivities of the Hill neighborhood, but allows us to ensure the long-term investment in that vital transportation hub in our community. You think about Tweed Airport and how we were able to get across the finish line something that was elusive for decades and ensure that members of our community, not just the neighbors in the airport, that we will invest in traffic calming and noise issues to address noise pollution, but also ensure that people have access to jobs with the PLA of that program. There are so many projects that we are working on now in the city, and the focus on inclusive growth is vital to that, because that's about bringing us together as a city. And I look at this project behind me, and I think about the symbolism of it, right? Because this city was torn apart 50, 60 years ago with the construction of this highway. Neighborhoods were bulldozed. And the symbolism of us not only reconnecting downtown to the Hill neighborhood, but doing it in a way that is inclusive of everyone. And this is the thing that I am most passionate about in this project. And you think about the components of this project that benefit our community, and you're going to hear that from a number of our partners from major educational institutions, and of course Dr. Tracy. There's a partnership with New Haven Public Schools with a new classroom right inside 101 College for real-world practical experience, as well as support for our teachers so that they're preparing students for jobs in science and technology, jobs that are growing today, jobs that are growing today. A $200,000 investment for scholarships for residents in Hill, Dwight, and downtown neighborhood toward career advancement in Gateway and Southern. And this project will also create up to 700 to 1,000 new permanent jobs, in addition to the incredible number of construction jobs. We're doing things inclusively in New Haven and ensuring, thanks to the pressure that we get from our colleagues on the Board of Alders, thanks to the leadership on our team, that this development benefits everyone. I want to take a moment to thank my staff, who I can tell you, and I'm sure many of you know them, have worked tirelessly to make this project work. Everything from the details of this kind of crazy detour that I don't know if anyone's driven, but it's a little bit crazy, but we made it work, to the details of the contract that I know John Ward and Mike Pinto and Mike Piscatelli were working on all last weekend and till late nights in the evening. Donna Hall and Aisha Woods in City Plan, Giovanni Zinn, Doug Housladen, Engineering and Traffic, Transportation and Parking, Robert Ellis. And if you would join me in acknowledging those individuals, and in particular, before you do, in particular Mike Piscatelli for his leadership in this project. Oh, there you are. There you are. Mike's beaming today. He's like, thank God we got this done. It's not done yet. We haven't cut the ribbon, Mike. I think I covered everything except for what everyone else is going to cover here. Yeah, I think I did. So I should wrap it up with something inspiring before I hand it over to the woman that will outshine me any day. My only advantage is I'm here in person, and she is not. But I want to wrap it up with a message of hope. This is an exciting time for our city, and I can't emphasize that enough. That we're on the cusp of doing some incredible things. We're about to have financial stability that allows us to ensure that we're not nickel and diming every single purchase that we have in the city, but making sure that we're continuing the investments through a significant increase in state funding. And with the American Rescue Plan funding, we're able, for the first time in decades in our city, to decide in a position of strength what our future will be. I can't tell you how grateful I am for the partnership of so many individuals here and institutions. And this partnership is about today, but more importantly, it's about many, many years to come. So with that, thank you to everyone, and I'm going to hand it over virtually to someone that's going to press the button, and we're going to see Rosa DeLauro speak.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. I'm so sorry that I cannot join you for this morning's groundbreaking. However, I'm glad to have this opportunity to extend my thanks and appreciation to Mayor Elicker, Mike Piscatelli, and all of those whose continued dedication and commitment have brought us to this day. The Downtown Crossing project is about many things. It is about reconnecting the roots of our city with its surrounding neighborhoods. It is about creating good-paying jobs in our city, both during the construction and after its completion. It is about making our community more walkable and friendlier to cyclists. And it is about supporting the continued growth of the biomedical sector of our local economy. That is why I have been such a staunch supporter of Downtown Crossing from its very beginning. I am proud to have worked to secure the millions of dollars in federal funding that has been made available through the Tiger and Tiger Build programs. And it is why I am a champion for its inclusion in the Transportation Reauthorization Bill that will be considered in the House of Representatives in the coming months. Upon its completion, the Downtown Crossing project will do so much to improve the quality of life in our city for residents and businesses alike. Many, many thanks to all of you gathered here this morning for your invaluable contributions to this wonderful project. I look forward to seeing you at the ribbon cutting. Congratulations and best wishes.
And many, many thanks to Rosa DeLauro for getting, in partnership with Senator Blumenthal and Senator Murphy, the ARP funds and all that contributed to cities across the nation, across the line. So not everything has been said, so I'll give you the opportunity to say some more things that I forgot. Senator Blumenthal, thank you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful day. It is really a breakthrough moment for New Haven and for Connecticut. I think of New Haven as my second home. I spent more years living here as an adult than any other place, combination of school and U.S. attorney, and I love this vista. I love this picture. It's worth 1,000 words and just tremendously inspiring. The American Rescue Plan is about helping people with real projects, real jobs, real education, real access. And to my colleagues, and there are unfortunately quite a few of them who say, we don't need another round of infrastructure pending, come here. We need another round of infrastructure investment for Connecticut and for the country, and we're going to make it happen. So I want to thank all of you for giving me this picture worth 1,000 words, certainly 1,000 of my words, to take back to Washington. Now, I must admit, this program really is pretty daunting for someone who is now trying to abolish the filibuster. But I want to just make a couple of quick points. First of all, let's be very blunt. Route 34 became a road to nowhere. Route 34 became a road to nowhere because of a broken promise. It was the broken promise of urban renewal. For New Haven, this road became a symbol of a promise broken and renewal divide. Today, we are fulfilling a broken promise. Today, that broken promise of a route to nowhere is repaired. And so I think it's important to recognize the commitment of the educators who are here today, Peter Salve, William Brown, Joe Bertolino, leaders in education, our scientific community, Dr. Christine Broadridge, and the builders, the risk takers, the entrepreneurs who have put their financial necks on the line and made it happen. My thanks to every one of you for making us proud. This kind of infrastructure project is exactly what we need, what the next round of infrastructure should be, and fulfilling the promise of urban renewal and making Route 34 a road to somewhere big is so exciting and inspiring. Thank you all. I have to apologize. I am on my way to DC to vote on the Endless Frontiers Act, which will provide funding for technology and innovation at some of the schools represented here, as well as for some of the folks who are going to be working in this building, and some of the corrections to the supply chain. I was talking earlier to some of the builders here. The next stage, and bridging the gap for the next stage and phase of this great project are going to be very important, and we need that supply chain for materials and construction to be working. We can get it done. This is a great day. It's a breakthrough moment. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal, and thank you for all your work representing New Haven and so many other municipalities around the state. So the next speaker, I would suspect, is always worried about what I'm going to say to introduce him. Peter Salovey is the president of Yale University, and he's probably always a little nervous, right? What's Elliker going to say today? We're grateful for your partnership with this project. This project would not have happened with Yale University, and the fact not only that you are investing in so much research that creates new companies, but also willing to occupy space and ensure that that foundation for the future tenants of this building exists to make it possible. I am cautiously optimistic about the future, Peter, I think is the word that I often use, and I'm very happy to you and your team for being here and supporting this project. Peter Salovey.
Well, thank you, Mayor Elliker. I appreciate that. He's a lot taller than me, as I'm discovering. Thanks for the kind words. We will be here as partners always to the City of New Haven. This is my 40th year in New Haven as a resident of this city. My wife, 39 years, I think. And this is our home. And when we can partner as a university with the city, I'm doing that both on behalf of the university, but also as a longtime resident of this great city. It's fantastic to be here with Governor Lamont, with Congresswoman DeLauro virtually, with Senator Blumenthal, with the alders, and with so many other colleagues who have played such an important role in this project. So Yale is a committed anchor tenant to 101 College Street. We are thrilled to be part of the economic development that this represents and the broader economic development initiatives that we are seeing in our city. 40 years, I never imagined I'd see so much being built, residential, commercial, research space. It's amazing all at once. So this is an exciting project that stands across the street from 100 College, which is the future home of Yale University's Woodside Institute, which is a ambitious research enterprise that will transform our understanding of human cognition. Both of these developments, 100, 101, and the implementation of downtown crossing more generally, will connect our city together, the Hill neighborhood with the downtown neighborhood, but also will connect Yale's medical and Yale's central campuses. And we are grateful for that bridge. That bridge will foster entrepreneurship. It will bring jobs to New Haven. It will create enthusiasm and interest around innovation, which we have already seen growing exponentially in recent years. Since 2000, over 75 startups based on Yale intellectual property have taken root in New Haven. They've raised over $2 billion in venture capital. They've raised another $7 billion in public equity financing. Some of these ventures are here today, are represented here today, including Arvinas. These are businesses and startups that are improving lives. These are businesses, these are startups that are strengthening New Haven and Connecticut's economy. But all of these efforts need an ecosystem to succeed, and I am so pleased that the mayor and others here are working to build that ecosystem here in New Haven. The recent announcement about the airport, critical to that ecosystem. So 101 College Street symbolizes a shared vision for our home city, an ability to speed up the launch of new ventures, an ability to create innovative connections among faculty experts, business leaders, entrepreneurs, investors, and community members. We can make together New Haven an international hub for bioscience, for pharmaceutical and health technology companies, and we are already seeing it happen. I can't wait to see what unfolds over the next few years. Mayor, thank you for including me. I very much appreciate it. I look forward to working with all of you in the years ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate those comments. So next I'm going to turn it over to Carter Winstanley, who has I think I met you maybe 10 years ago, working on 100 College and the work that you did around Science Park as well. Carter has been tireless in ensuring that projects are successful. And in my view, what I've seen about your success in New Haven is that you are persistent, you keep an eye towards the future, and you put in an unbelievable amount of work and creative problem solving to get projects across the finish line. What's more, you're willing to work with community members, hear people out, and find ways that you can help accomplish our goals as a community and your goals as well. And so your support in making this project happen is a game changer in New Haven. So before I invite you up, Carter's going to speak, and then Johannes Fruhoff. Did I get it right? Okay. And then our Venus president, John Houston. So, Carter.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start today by thanking Congresswoman DeLauro and Senator Blumenthal. I want to thank Governor Lamont for the lengthy support that he's given this project over the last couple years. I want to particularly thank Mayor Elicker, who's been very supportive of this project as well. I'd like to thank the Board of Alders, President Salovey. I'd like to thank my partner in this project, Harrison Street, and all of the team members who have worked so hard over the last couple years to make this a reality. So on the way down today, I asked myself, why are we all here today? We're here because we share a common belief that from an innovative idea, we can improve upon our lives. We're excited that Yale is joined in this venture with us because they create the environment where so many of these ideas can germinate. We're excited to have biolabs join in this because they understand if you create a flexible workspace to cultivate and nurture these ideas, they'll have a higher likelihood of success. We're excited that our Venice shares the belief that being part of a community of innovators will not only benefit the startup, but will also contribute to making Arvinis a more innovative company. But for this to truly be a success, it must reach further into the community of people who are not here today. And so we're excited to have SCSU and Gateway Community College here today, partners that will help pull curriculum directly from these innovators to educate a generation of talented young students moving into these fields. We must go even further into the community by opening a STEM classroom in the building that'll offer New Haven High School students the opportunity to come work side by side with innovators, giving them firsthand valuable experience to work in this field. We must work with New Haven Works, and we must hit our goals for workforce participation. And that's a lot for a project. And so I feel fortunate to be surrounded by such a group of like-minded partners who aspire to make this something more than a building. I would fortunately get to be the first one to suggest we're likely to fall short in many ways. And some will be quick to point this out in the coming years. But if we have some success in what we hope to accomplish here, we will have raised the expectation for what can be achieved in a public-private partnership with a common set of goals. And so I would thank everybody that's come out today, and I'd like to introduce Johannes Fruhoff with Biolabs.
Thank you, Carter. Mayor Elicker, Governor Lamont, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, Senator Richard Blumenthal, President Salve, esteemed colleagues. I'm speaking for the entire Biolabs team today to tell you that we're very excited with this visionary project that is 101 College Street. Biolabs creates co-working environments for biotech startups. Entrepreneurs find fully equipped labs in which they can develop their ideas, meet peers, collaborators, potential partners, make venture capital connections, and accelerate their science. Biolabs is a rapidly growing community of innovators. Today, we have 14 labs in 10 cities, and over 350 companies use our spaces. These companies now routinely collect about 20% of all the venture capital invested in biotech in this country. So it's a growing community that we are excited to bring here as well. We're especially excited to celebrate the groundbreaking of this new project with you today as we're exiting this stark year of restrictions and health concerns. We've seen how biotechnology has created a solution to the pandemic within a record time. We've seen how coming together and collaborating around a joint cause can lead to amazing and unimaginable outcomes. A vaccine administered to millions within 12 months of the virus sequence being discovered. That's a first. Today we're celebrating the groundbreaking of this building that symbolizes this optimism. The investment in science. We all believe that the ingenuity of our doctors, scientists, and engineers is the best answer for our challenges ahead. We're excited to kick off a period of building in this country, not just here, but hopefully around the nation, with a major push by President Biden that will allow the US to upgrade our aging infrastructure from roads to rails to schools and information networks. A word of caution. In biotech, we're very worried about signals out of the same Washington that threaten to stifle the innovation, and that has to do with government control of pricing. The incentives that innovators receive and their investors are a carefully tuned ecosystem of risk and reward. And I want to ask all of the politicians that are listening in to not screw it up. We have something that's going really well. And it is based on this foundation that we all have the shot in our arms right now. So let's not, there are good solutions to lower drug prices for consumers and for the patients without undermining the innovative machinery that we all benefit from. With our biolabs at 101 College Street, we want to help launch more good ideas out of New Haven's fertile ground of academic research. We believe that we will help dozens of companies and hundreds of scientists in this facility. And through our STEM education programs, we'll enable young students to discover their love of science through our collaboration and programs with the New Haven Public Schools, the Elm City Innovation Collaborative, New Haven Small Business Academy, iHaven, and the Gateway Community College, who all will benefit from access to our facilities and STEM labs. Personally, I would like to thank my staff, especially Susan Chase, who's here, who has tirelessly worked on this deal, negotiated with Carter's team, and I also want to thank Yale University for their support. Without your underwriting and helping us take the risk, we're a small company, this would not be possible. So thank you very much. We look forward to the years ahead.
Great. It's great to be here. My name is John Houston. I'm the CEO of Arvinas. And good morning to everybody. I think it's still morning. It's an honor to be here with you today to celebrate the groundbreaking of 101 College Street. As we gather to recognize this major milestone, I believe we are at the beginning of something truly exciting for Connecticut and New Haven in particular. This project started with a vision that recognized the potential of New Haven as an emerging biotech hub, one that would allow companies such as Arvinas to grow and thrive. Great teamwork and partnership have been the hallmarks of all the preparations that have brought us to this point, and this resonates with how we work at Arvinas. At Arvinas, our dedicated employees, now more than 200 people, are the reason we're able to pursue entirely new therapeutics for cancer and other difficult to treat diseases. Our people come to work every day because they are committed to the patients we aim to serve. So when I thought about my remarks for today and I paused to ask myself, what does this groundbreaking truly signify? I believe it signifies a huge opportunity to excite and attract scientists and other R&D teams to Connecticut, who can then deliver even more innovative breakthrough medicines for years to come. When people come together with a purpose, amazing things can happen, and today is clear evidence of that. I thank all of you for your incredible hard work in making 101 College Street and the overall Downtown Crossing project a reality. As a company incubated out of Yale, our commitment to New Haven is strong and lasting. We're proud to continue to be a part of this rapidly growing biopharmaceutical hub and contribute to the continued development of the downtown area. So on behalf of Team Arvinas, I thank all of you and congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Johannes, and thank you, Carter. And I also think it's appropriate to just take a moment to acknowledge Craig Cruz, who has, in particular, his commitment to and dedication to our city is one of the many reasons that this project is happening here. Dr. Brown is next, and I feel some affinity to you because even though we've only met a handful of times on Zoom, it's good to meet in person. We started both at a time that was very tumultuous in our recent jobs. I don't know if you know, but our partnership with the city and Gateway is just so deep, and in particular, the work that's being done with Dr. Tracy and your team to ensure that New Haven Public School students not only have a pathway through college, but also have a start even before they reach college to get the skills that they need to prepare them for a successful future. We're grateful for your support, and if you could come up and say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I think Mayor Erlicher is taller than me as well. On behalf of the faculty and staff, and especially the students of Gateway Community College, I am honored and, quite frankly, excited to say a few words about the impact that these projects are going to have for not just the Gateway College community, but really for our entire community. We have a lot to celebrate. We just had commencement a week and a half ago. This project is breaking ground and taking shape. And this upcoming year, 2022, Gateway will be celebrating its 10th year of being in the downtown location, literally right across the street. And so we're actually quite proud of our name of Gateway. It is both literal and figurative that we sit where we sit as a gateway for so many people to achieve the goals and futures that they would like to. The significance of these projects, I would like to, if you'll indulge me, sum up with 3 words, and that's connection, community, and opportunity. When it's completed, Downtown Crossing will serve as a powerful way to reconnect communities, neighborhoods with each other, as well as with downtown. For its part, 101 College Street is going to serve as a bioscience and innovation hub where a community of entrepreneurs, of educators, of government, of business and industry, of citizens, where a community comes together to inspire our young people and grow our workforce to meet the needs and challenges of 21st century life science and biotechnology research, development, and application. I am proud, and you can probably see from the smile on my face, I am proud to be here with Dr. Tracy, President Bertolino, President Salave, all of our education leaders, as we, with these projects, come together in deliberate and intentional ways to chart pathways from the earliest grades, ultimately through their careers, for the young people who live in this city and in this area. It's only with connection, it's only with community that things like this happen. And to see all of you here today from all different walks of life and jobs and roles, competition may bring out the best in me, but community, collaboration brings out the best in all of us. It's only through community that things like this happen. I'd like to just throw out a special shout out, if you'll indulge me, to Carter Will Stanley and his family for your support. As I understand it, it goes back almost a decade, at least a decade, to Alexian and even around that. Even today, your support for the college, for his commitment to bridging the digital divide and helping a number of our students get what they needed in the face of this pandemic. You are both an example, and we thank you for your work, your engagement with us, and all of your support. Thank you, Mayor Elicker. He was one of the first people to reach out to me when I was appointed, and have appreciated the partnership and support of the city. Your staff, community and economic development, transportation, you're keeping us, all of us, informed and engaged, has made this transition a bit easier for all of us. Governor Lamont, Senator Blumenthal, Senator Murphy, Representative DeLauro, our alders, all of our elected officials, thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your ongoing support that, again, makes things like this happen. I am looking forward to moving forward with all of you together. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Brown. Dr. Tracy. So Dr. Tracy and I hiked to the top of the mountain last week, right to the top of East Rock Park, and I think that is an adequate or appropriate symbol of Dr. Tracy's tenacity, especially over this past year and a half. I've gotten to know you quite well, facing many of the challenges that we've faced to support our children. And what I admire deeply about you is that you always bring it back to our children and what's best for them. So I hope you can come up and say a few words.
Well, I'm a firm believer that it can be done. I spoke at the commencement at Southern a couple of weeks back, and that was my message. It can be done. And our students are capable of rising to the occasion. First, I want to thank my staff members who are here to support what is going on. But I do not believe there's an opportunity gap, as people have been telling us and getting into our consciousness. There's an achievement gap. There is no achievement gap. There's an opportunity gap. And this program will give our students a lot of opportunities for moving forward. So, with that said, thank you, Mayor Elicker, distinguished guests. I won't call all the names, I'll forget. It is an honor to be here in partnership with Gateway and Southern to demonstrate that this project is more than just an infrastructure or a new building. It represents opportunity and access for New Haven students to study and be ready for jobs in the biosciences. Led by Dr. White, our team and our teachers are ready, and our students are ready to move forward. We continue to build up our capacity to teach biology, math, chemistry, and computer science. The BioPath and opportunities created through this partnership will allow us to teach for careers and with the right instruments and labs. I want to especially thank our Mayor Elicker, we are like partners in crime sometimes, for supporting the New Haven Public Schools, the Board of Alders, many who are sitting here, and Carter Will Stanley for ensuring that New Haven Public Schools will have a classroom in the building so we can teach them right here in a professional workplace. This will create the sense of belonging and familiarity for our students and parents, which will encourage them to go further in their studies and career aspirations. New Haven is a place to be. New Haven students will rise to the occasion. I know they can, and I know they will. And with all the support of all of us, we put our arms around our students and tell them they can do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Tracy. Just for the record, we're not partners in crime. We're partners for the success of our children. There's no crime involved in the work that we do. And your team, Dr. Tracy, your team has been incredible, and Dr. Vasquez and Keisha Red Hennings, Dr. White, the work that you're doing with your team, the team that you've put together has contributed significantly to your success. President Joe, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. We started a year and a half ago having a cup of Joe until it was no longer monthly, until it was no longer possible because of COVID. Dr. Brown, I have some affinity for Southern as well because I used to be an adjunct professor at the teaching school there. Although the pay. Did he just say that? Did he just say that? But Southern, I don't need to say anything. You have an incredible team. The partnership with New Haven, whether it's on the teaching side and what you're going to talk about today, is deep, and we're grateful for it. So can I ask you to come up, and then you have a number of other people on your team that are going to speak as well. Dr. Christine Broadridge, and then I think a couple students. Awesome. President Joe.
Thank you, Mayor Elicker. I was once told by a supervisor when I asked for a raise that I would get a raise of consciousness in the work that I am doing, and so we're happy to give you that at Southern. And being that my good friends Peter and Terry have pretty much said everything, and there's the inspiration of Dr. Tracy. It's hard to follow all of that, but to the governor, to Mayor Elicker, and to our alders, the senator and the congresswoman, thank you for your leadership and your support. I do know that out there it's a bit warm, so I am pleased to announce that I am the halfway mark on the list of speakers right now, and so, okay, that fell flat. All right, thanks. And so, I have prepared 45 seconds of remarks starting now. Southern is excited about this project because it provides two things: access and opportunity. And those two words have been key to our social justice mission at Southern. 85% of the students that graduate at Southern stay in the state of Connecticut, and we take a great deal of pride in that. So, as the public university of New Haven, as the public university of the Southern Connecticut region, building partnerships for our community matters. That's why 6 years ago, we partnered with the city to support the biopath industry through the Bioscience Academic and Career Pathway Initiative, or BioPath, which is an amazing experiential program. My colleague, Christine Broadridge, will talk more in detail about the program, which has graduated to date more than 725 students focused on BioPath. So 101 College Street will certainly be a tremendous asset to this initiative, and as always, Southern is proud to be a part of it. We are proud to be partners with the City of New Haven. We are proud to be partners with our community here. Thank you very much.
I'm not quite as tall either. Thank you, President Joe, and I just have to say it's really hard for me to control my excitement, and to Michael Piscatelli, others, and that have been at this for 10 years. I'm really about talking about success. Like all of us, I'm thrilled about the development of 101 College Street and the potential it has to offer New Haven as a leading bioscience hub. The support, because the hub is already here. From the start, BioPath has been driven by the needs of Connecticut companies. In partnership with the Jackson Laboratories and others, Southern has undertaken numerous needs assessments, and we've developed programs, both degree programs and other academic programs, to meet those needs. Since 2016, as President Jim has mentioned, BioPath has impacted more than 6,000 students. He mentioned those that have graduated, 725 from BioPath impacted programs that range the gap from bioscience to applied physics to nanotechnology. We're talking about cutting edge technology. That technology that's going on at Yale University, University of Connecticut, we're about partnership. We're about making opportunities happen for New Haven residents. As President Joe pointed out, providing access is key to our mission. And from 2016 to 2020, underrepresented minorities and females have comprised 37% and 57% respectively. And I'm talking about in STEM fields. So this is really something that's extremely important to us, and it's something we're looking to continue and to even do more so. The CT Next funded innovation, New Haven Innovation Collaborative that you've heard about has really been what has driven BioPath to the next level. I mentioned it started 10 years ago. Recently, it's accelerated. This year, the BioPath internship program is in partnership with all of the New Haven schools, including Gateway. To date, BioPath has placed over 30 interns at bioscience companies. We're expanding that. Each of those former interns, we're talking about the ones that have just come out, are already working in bioscience fields. They're currently in graduate school, and we have some that are teaching in New Haven public schools. They came from New Haven public schools, they went through our program, and they're back teaching there. This summer, BioPath is launching new industry-sought, non-credential programming that will address more of the skills needed by industry. So again, once again, we're listening. Very recently, Southern obtained a $1.4 million federal grant to train more science teachers in math and science. This is a very special grant because it's one that's in partnership with the districts like New Haven Public Schools, and it's about more individuals going into teaching that are from underrepresented groups. Those individuals need to have those opportunities. They need to know that it's a rewarding career. It's the reason why I do what I do. 101 College will serve as an ideal site for many of these programs. I'd like to thank all of those that have made this happen. The list is just way too long. And the thing I have to say about it, it's about really what I'm about, and that's partnership. And you see that by the individuals that are here today. From industry, academia, government, everybody working together for New Haven with the potential that it already has. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to two very outstanding students. They're really the ones. I'm going to get out of their way so that you can hear from them. So with that, I'm going to introduce Apple Pham and Therese Sachs.
I may be the most vertically challenged of all the speakers, so good afternoon. My name is Hang Pham, but all my friends call me Apple, and it is my honor to speak at today's groundbreaking. I graduated from New Haven Academy and went to Southern in 2013. As a New Haven student, I had the opportunity to take a number of college courses as a high school student, and Southern I felt was the best cultural fit for me. And I was really impressed by the level of dedication that professors and staff showed towards student success, and that's why I chose Southern. As a first-gen college student, I didn't know what I wanted to study or pursue as a career. I did know that I didn't want to be a doctor, which was a big disappointment to my parents. The summer research experiences provided exposure to research and was really a stepping stone to a number of success that I've had later on. Through these experiences, I realized the value of diversity and mentorship in STEM. I was always fortunate to have had a number of great female mentors like Professor Broadbridge, but it was sometimes really unsettling to be one of two females or one of two minority people in a classroom or a lab. And the BioPath program really gave me the opportunity to mentor incoming students, and I found pleasure in helping those underrepresented students navigate the cultural shock. The network opportunities led to a full-time job offer at the Yale Peabody Museum after graduation, and I had a lot of leadership, mentoring, and relationship building skills that I acquired that helped me succeed in the role. And as part of the internship placement team, I continue to advocate for underrepresented students, especially those in STEM. And as the coordinator of the youth employment program, I really encourage high school students to self-advocate as professionals so that they're prepared when they join college and out into the real world. In my current role as the BioPath Academic and Career Success Coordinator, I connect with and facilitate support for students, especially those from New Haven. And we are working to ensure that students have access to opportunities that promote growth and postgraduate success. In particular, we're very happy to announce the new partnership with New Haven Works, and we've already identified a number of members who will be joining our program this summer. And together, we are developing individualized plans to ensure that they too acquire the skills they need to be successful and make meaningful contribution to the bioscience community in New Haven, and particularly here at 101 College Street. We are working really hard to ensure that stories like mine aren't the exception but the norm. So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Therese Ajax, and I am a recent graduate of Southern Connecticut State University in the Department of Chemistry and Honors College. I'm very honored to speak as we break ground for this incredible project on 101 College Street. I myself have benefited from BioPath programs that President Joe and Dr. Christine Broadbridge just shared. As an undergraduate at Southern, I've been conducting research for 3 years in the Department of Chemistry, synthesizing and assessing the stability of compounds that can potentially be used as alternatives to antibiotics to address the antibiotic resistance crisis. I attribute much of my success to the New Haven Innovation Collaborative sponsored summer research experience for undergraduates. With access to our updated industry standard instrumentation, I was successful in conducting these studies and significantly more, such as presentation skills, critical thinking skills, logical reasoning skills, and conducting research independently in the lab. As a woman in science and in STEM, I am incredibly proud to serve as a representative for Southern and females in science. I am grateful for the tremendous opportunities I have had so far. I am confident the spaces being developed in the building that will be erected here in conjunction with BioPath will serve as means to increase STEM persistence by providing other young women and individuals from all backgrounds and with opportunities to pursue science beyond the classroom. As we strive for a more diverse and equitable STEM field, it is crucial that women, underrepresented groups, and students with disabilities have access to internships and research experiences to increase success rates in STEM both during and after graduation. The new state-of-the-art bioscience laboratories and community spaces will aid in providing New Haven's and Connecticut's bright and future scientists with opportunities to excel and establish networks. This, in turn, will help them share knowledge in our wonderful state. As I continue to conduct research while I pursue my master's degree in chemistry at Southern and a future career in medicine as a physician, I look forward to collaborating with many scientists and industry leaders. I am confident that New Haven will flourish as an innovation center for advancements in STEM and bioscience, and BioPath graduates will be at the forefront. I would like to thank Southern Connecticut State University, President Joe, Dr. Broadbridge, and BioPath for this incredible opportunity and for continuing to provide students with opportunities to excel in STEM. I would also like to congratulate everyone involved in this project as we gather here today to celebrate this historic moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Southern. It's always really nice to hear from the students. Dr. Tracy, I neglected to acknowledge Tiffany Jackson, who's a force of nature on your team. Dr. Therian too, so thank you to everyone on your team. We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. As I see the people over there slowly crowding closer to the building to hide from the sun, You all are key. The alders are key. You're not only our voice for the community, the neighborhoods. I was knocking on doors with Alder Hurt and Alder Rodriguez just about a week ago because we're facing some really challenging things in the community. Your partnership is vital to the city's success. And if I could ask you all to come up and maybe someone say a few words. Alder Rodriguez, I bet that's going to be you, isn't it? All of you. All right. Come on.
Yes, absolutely. So I am not as tall as Mayor Elliker, but my voice sounds a little louder. So I too want to thank each and every one of you who are here. All those behind the scene that have made this possible. The amount of construction workers, the amount of people in the field, in the offices to ensure that New Haven and the neighborhoods are aware of what's taking place. And the first thing I want to say, and I know I'm going to ask my colleague Alder Hurt to just step to the side, and I want everybody to remember that it says a community in progress, and that is what New Haven is right now, today. And yes, we will all continue to move our city forward. We want to thank everyone from the state. We want to thank all the elected officials in New Haven, my colleagues who are here with me. And again, thank you for all those who we have not mentioned. It's thousands of you that have made this possible, have kept the communities aware of the happenings. And that too is brand new. And that too will need to continue in New Haven. So we thank you all. So I am Carmen Rodriguez. I am the alder from Ward 6. A major priority for us and the Hill is winning fair access to good job opportunities. We insisted that this project provide these opportunities for our residents. And we are very proud of the agreement that Carter Winstanley and New Haven Works produced. And I want to thank the New Haven Works director in the back as well. Thank you. This job agreement is one of the best job agreements in our city. I believe it should be a model for developers working in New Haven. So Carter, you've just started something. Let's keep it going. Importantly, this project will give the residents from impacted neighborhoods important consideration in the hiring process and give qualified residents guaranteed interviews. This agreement will give residents from the Hill real pathways to benefit from the jobs generated by this project. Since 2011, the Board of Alders have prioritized job opportunities for New Haven. The Board of Alders created New Haven Works after the Great Recession, and we continue to put access to good jobs as one of our top items on our legislative agenda. I am proud that 101 College Street Agreement was made possible by our long-term commitments on jobs, and it is an important success in acting in this commitment. I want to thank you, Carter Winstanley, and New Haven Works in working with us on this vision. And I look forward, as well as my colleagues, to working closely so that this agreement is implemented. And to Dr. Tracy, that we're not going to wait till the kids are in college, that we are going to get them ready and prepared to go into that building before they even land in high school. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you, Mayor. And to my colleagues, I thank you so much for including me in this project, because together is what we're going to be working on to move New Haven forward. Governor, we have that list for you.
Hi, my name is Abby Roth, and I'm the alder for Ward 7. And I just want to echo so many people who have spoken to thank everyone who's played a role in enabling what's truly a transformational project. I work on the hillside of 101 College and live on and represent the downtown side. And so daily witness the negative impacts of the decision in the 1950s to build a highway that destroyed a neighborhood and divided downtown from the Hill. Downtown Crossing and 101 College Street are reconnecting the Hill neighborhood with downtown, which is also very much a neighborhood. 101 College will provide economic opportunities for people from the Hill and downtown and beyond. by creating temporary and permanent jobs and through training programs that we've heard so much about that will enable people to gain valuable biotech skills that will translate into fulfilling careers and really drive the economy in our city. It also importantly will provide public space, indoors and outside, where people from both neighborhoods and beyond can gather, enlivening what's currently a dead space. And importantly, 101 College will add needed taxable property to New Haven's grand list, with cascading benefits to neighborhoods citywide. So again, thank you to everyone who's played such a role, and congratulations to everyone.
Good morning. I stand in awe this morning, and I thank the omnipotent for Winstanley Carter and for all the great minds that are here. New Haven is a great city, and we have a lot of talent. So it's great that he dreams and he decided New Haven would house his next project. And I want to say thank you to our Mayor Elliker, to the Governor Lamont, to United States Senator Blumenthal, to Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, to all our state delegation, President Salovey, for being present, Southern Connecticut State University and Gateway Community College. I am in agreement with my colleagues in regard to the importance of community involvement. In the 101 College Street project, which was first introduced to the community over 10 years ago in community planning meetings. Gateway Community College was mentioned, but they were already mentioning this project. When I saw the pictures and the developers at a community meeting, it was already done. You know, pictures say 1,000 words, right? But when you see those pictures, you know it's done. By organizing, we brought our community in making decisions in the best interests of the Hill neighborhood. We did this by organizing, by working with the city administration, such as Mr. Mike Piscatelli. Mr. Piscatelli can tell you the beginnings were not easy. Communicating the project in itself, we had to see it, to believe it, and to accept it, and to take it in. Again, Mr. Doug Housleyden, in public meetings in our neighborhoods, Board of Alders public meetings held in our Board of Alders chambers in City Hall, and significant organizations like New Haven Rising under the directorship of the esteemed leader, Reverend Scott Marks, and its citywide coordinator, Abigail Feldman. Our Hill North and Hill South management teams. The entities were local neighborhood agencies such as Yale New Haven Hospital, Hill Health Center under Mr. Michael Taylor, and so many of our local agencies come together with neighborhood specialist Arthur Natalino, our police department, fire department, district managers, residents, all coming together to review and discuss and approve projects like 101 College Street. Through this vehicle, many voices have been included in the end result of this awesome project. I am proud that 101 College gives our youth in the Hill educational opportunities. With this project, we are saying that the future scientists in our city will come from our Hill neighborhood and throughout the entire city. I'm excited by the BioPath pipeline and the role that Southern Connecticut State University and many of our local universities and colleges and high schools will play in this agreement. The youth in the Hill neighborhood deserve to have big dreams. Winning this hope is why we have organized. I hope that everyone in the Hill sees this agreement as an important reason to get involved. And I look forward to working with my colleagues and everyone interested in projects like this one that will move not only the Hill neighborhood forward, but our entire city. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alder Evelyn. My name is Campton Singh. I'm the Alder of Ward 5. I agree that these agreements are only possible when elected officials and working in cooperation with the community is involved. This agreement has been prioritized, all part of our community in the Hill. This agreement will benefit residents looking for jobs, students, and small businesses. It would also create community space between the downtown and the Hill. It would also make it easier for residents to benefit from other opportunities in the downtown development. The Hill was cut off from many opportunities from decisions that did not involve the community. Now it is important that the community is involved in every step as we bring the Hill to downtown back together. I want to say thanks to my colleagues that stand here with me. Thank you all. Thank you for your investment. Thank you for the time. Thank you for believing in us, believing in New Haven. And I want to say thanks to the mayor. Thanks to Mike. Mike put a lot of time into this for spearheading this development. Thanks again to all of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ron Hurt, the Alder of the 3rd Ward. In my congregation, I do not say this often, but I'm going to say it today. I won't be before you long. For those who are in the black church and know that experience, you know what I mean. When I say that, that means I'm going to be before you about an hour and a half. But I want to thank the Almighty for allowing us to be here today. I've been a resident of New Haven for 28 years. Been homeless. I've seen the good side of life, I've seen the bad side of life. And I don't regret any of it. I'm very proud right now to stand in this place which presents a lot of opportunities for a lot of our black and our brown youth. Place where there will be no more division, no more separation. A place of unity, place of partnership. In New Haven, we've experienced 80 years of segregated development. Neighborhoods like ours have been cut out of opportunities for decades. In 1937, they came up with the redlining map that marked the Hill neighborhoods as hazardous and declining. These maps presented the racial segregation across this country. You're probably wondering what this has to do with the project. Well, I'm bringing you from then to now. After the redlining maps, the Oak Street neighborhood was destroyed, which further separated the Hill from downtown. This history has created a challenge for all our neighborhoods. Half of the children in the Hill grow up in poverty. My colleagues and I, we ran for office to change this history and to undo our troubling history of segregated development. We understood that the only way to take on these challenges was by forming this team that you see standing behind me and sticking together. I'm proud to say that sticking together is the reason we're getting this 101 College Street project. These are the projects and agreements that will help us build this city, the city of New Haven, which I reside and which I love, giving opportunities and dignity to all of New Haven's residents. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the mayor, Carter Winstanley, Mike Piscatelli, our federal legislation, government, Governor Lamont, and all our partners for the job well done in working with us. You have given us hope that this can be done and our children will not be forgotten about. I'm excited for this day. And I want you to know that my motto is always this: together we are better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alders. Carter, you said you might falter at some point, and you know that there will be people that will point it out pretty quickly. I think you know who that's going to be. Keeping an eye on everybody. The final speaker has been very busy the last week, has been very busy the last year or so, but particularly busy the last week. This project, of course, would not be possible, Governor, without you and your team. And our team in particular has talked a lot with David Lehman, Commissioner Lehman, about investing in this project to make sure that we can activate it, closing some of the financial gaps that we couldn't have done on our own. And your recognition that New Haven is the pathway towards our future benefits the entire state, and of course, we're grateful for it in our city. So, Governor Lamont.
Hey, well, thank you, Justin. And yeah, we started out good morning. Now it is good afternoon. And all the hurt. Maybe when the minister says, I won't keep you long, he's just getting started. Well, when Henry VIII said to each of his 6 wives, I won't keep you long, he meant it. And let me just say to Southern and Yale and Gateway, if you're going to do a case study on smart development, I think this is the case study. And I think you've heard it here this morning and this afternoon as they try and put together all the different pieces that make for smart development. You know, it starts with what the mayor and the alders said, that it starts with the community. And you've got to remember the community. And you got to remember the people that live here. And you got to remember them during construction and make sure these are good paying jobs for local New Haven people and give them an opportunity. And it means good paying jobs going forward for the students. And that's what I've heard. I also heard a lot about this road to nowhere behind me. And I was just thinking, a lot of development in the state used to be a little bit like that, or we just give as much money as we could to somebody and build a factory in a cornfield somewhere and hope that it went. Well, David Lehman and I really wanted to work in a very different way. We really wanted to focus on what are Connecticut's strengths and build on where we have that opportunity. And those strengths are many-fold, and this is an example of those strengths are. You know, Justin mentioned, look, here we are, we're building this, but a lot of development's going on, you said, right between here and Union Station. And that's about smart development, and that's about transit-oriented development. And that's the fact, if we do it right, New Haven is the transportation hub of this state and this region, and that's what the development is. Well, you know, look, there's Gateway right over there. There's, I think they said, Carter, there's, what, thousands of more healthcare jobs and bioscience right over there. This is the part of an ecosystem, and this is what you build off of. And I love the fact that you're building off of this ecosystem, again, starting with the kids, starting with those high school students, making sure they get that opportunity. If they want to follow their dreams in life sciences and bioscience, they do it right here in New Haven. And I was listening, Joe, when you said, hey, Southern, you know, 85% of our kids stay here in Connecticut, which is a dream come true. I leaned over to Salaby and said, how about Yale? How about 85%? And, but he did say, these are the type of ladders and pipelines that allow people to stay in this state. You come out of Gateway or Southern or Yale, you have an interest in life sciences and the bioscience, and all of a sudden you have biolabs right here as part of what this process is. And all of a sudden you have a dream and an idea, and there's a lab space that gives you some opportunity to see if you can make it happen. And the biolabs also include some money, some capital. That's always kind of helpful to have if you want to see this. And as you look around New Haven, you look around greater Connecticut, you see what that ecosystem is. You find you've got talent that you'll be able to lean on, or if you have a great idea, a place that it can go. And I got to say to Carter Winstanley, I appreciate your belief in the state, and I appreciate your belief in New Haven. And you know, Justin says, don't disappoint us, and we're not going to disappoint you. I know what you've done. You've been investing in this community for an awful long time. You saw it. Now we know what the potential is. Now we can see it with our eyes, and you were here very early on. And I got to tell you personally, I know you're putting money at risk. You're making a difference. And that's true. That's true. And this is sort of what Connecticut is all about. I mean, play to your strengths. Where do we have the wind to our back? Maybe, you know, downstate, it's a little more fintech and digital media. Maybe you got the insurance capital up in the other direction. You've got advanced manufacturing over here. But this is a life sciences hub. And these are good paying jobs, not just for PhDs, but for everybody. And that's what we're going to remind people of every day. And I'll just leave you with one other thought. This is an example of people working together, Justin. This is an example of the community and the developers and the scientists and the educators working together. And I am so proud of the state of Connecticut right now. It was a year from hell that we all went through over the last 14, 15, 16 months, and we worked together. We work together. We're working with the science community, the education community, and the business community, doing everything you can together to get people through this. I like your little thing there. I conquered COVID, it says on his pin right there. And tell your friends and tell their friends and tell their friends. Keep getting vaccinated right now. This is a great day for New Haven. I think it's a great day for Connecticut. And I really appreciate the way you've put this together in a way that makes sense for everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, so as you know, I've been mayor for a year and a half, and I'm still learning some things, and I think I called this a ribbon cutting. Thankfully, Mary Corsi came over and said, it's a groundbreaking, Mayor. Ribbon cuttings when the building is actually up. So I'm still working through things, but now, for the groundbreaking, if we could have folks head